Welcome back to the Trading Desk. We've been talking about a few different markets, how they're interrelated, and how you kind of have to be conscious of these different markets and their relationships in order to be a successful trader. We've covered the dollar, we've covered oil and their relationships. We want to talk a little bit about real estate. We've spent a fair amount of the show so far over the past year that we've been doing it, talking about this market and how we had a very interesting time period last year when we were out on the street talking to people.
We came into it at the
so many
spot.
people were just so bullish.
Well, I think back to one of our first shows we did, and we were out in the street asking people, where would you put your money?
Yeah.
And that was the spring of 07.
Year and a half ago.
Yeah, year and a half.
07.
Yeah.
And even then, when the rest of the country, I think, had already spilled
The writing
over.
was on the wall
The
at
rest
that
of the
point.
country had spilled over.
Yeah.
But everybody was still gung ho. In fact,
Well,
one
I
guy
mean,
gave me the dirty look when I asked him. I said, "Why real estate?" And he's like, just kind of scowled at me.
Why
I'm like,
not?
"Whoa, okay."
But
So-
I think we're in this. It's the same thing. I mean, these things we don't go from over extreme to under extreme,
Right.
like that, and we're
yeah.
done with it. I mean, we go
Takes
into these
years.
levels of, again, I'll use the
kind of
term
a-
purgatory, where you're just
Yeah.
in this range, not going lower, not really going
It's really,
higher.
it's really a no man's land. I mean, it's not overvalued. According to National City, Bend is still the #2 most overvalued, market in the country. So
It's interesting, and I saw that, I was looking at that report last night on the second quarter from National City Corp,
Right.
and one of the stats there was looking at San Francisco. San Francisco is already back to it's actually below 2004 prices on medians, and Bend is not even near. I mean, we're about
when
$80,000.
you look at it regionally, and you look at the Pacific Northwest is taking up a lot of the
top 20.
the top overvalued
I also noticed
regions.
that.
So
Yeah.
I think we were slow to sell off in the beginning, and now we're kind of
Yeah,
still
we were
behind the curve a
insulated
little
at
bit.
first, and now we're
But then
taking
again,
our
prices
medicine.
have come down about 30% in Bend, so they're not as crazy overvalued as they were, but they're not undervalued by any measure. They're not even fairly valued probably
Right.
in a lot of cases.
Right.
So
It's again purgatory, and
Right.
you see, and I think you see it in the market. You still see an increase of inventory being put on the market here in town. I mean, that hasn't changed. It's still going
And
up.
I think the real anecdotal indicators, I look at the Saturday real estate section and you see houses that have been on the market for 2 years,
Yeah.
and they're not dropping the price.
not.
And
It's
it's
total
it's hey, wake
stalemate.
up, smell the
Stalemate.
coffee. It's this.
Right.
Well, but I think
not-
I still think until you see banks dumping properties at real market prices, that's how it's going to be. To use your analogy, you've got all these people that bought oil at $140 a barrel that want to get just back or close to break even.
yeah.
And it's the same thing in real estate. You've got all these people from 04 through 07 who bought up here that we're looking for the quick flip, and it's not going to even get to those prices, but they're just hoping for any bounce, and it's not going to come.
Right.
And housing makes it even more difficult because it's not nearly
Totally
as liquid as a
liquid.
stock or anything like that. So obviously we've come off 30%. If you are in the market, and like you said along one of our first shows, if it makes sense and you need a house, well, great. You got a 30% off sale. But if you're willing to wait,
Yeah.
I think there's probably an
Well, but I also think that the real estate market is a little bit different in that there are some special cases out there. You are getting a few distressed sales. You can go buy something for, I think, what below the current market is today.
Yeah.
And so it is becoming a better market for traders, speculators, whatever you want to call them in real estate. Although the market in general is not a buy, in my opinion.
Right.
So.
But that will take, again, years to play out, I do believe, just
will.
because of the
Well, I mean,
liquidity crisis.
I've said
the Fannie Mae, Freddie issue
Tightening
has been
lending
tightening
standards.
lending
I've
standards.
said there's three real possibilities for where the market goes. I mean, this probably could apply to oil or the dollar. Real estate could see a bounce. The Freddie Fannie news could be a good thing that now the Treasury is buying mortgages, and who knows. We could stay flat, I think, for 5-10 years. Prices go nowhere. Or we could see another 30% decline, which would take home prices to at least fair value, if not undervaluation, and that would be a great time to buy them.
Right.
But I don't know which of those three is more probable than the others. So it's kind of a tough, like you said, it's no man's
It's
land.
tough
It's a
across
tough call.
just about all asset classes right now.
Right.
Yeah, and when
You
in
get a
doubt, it's okay to stay out.
Yeah.
It's not.
And
that
that's key.
important.
I mean, there are times, I think Warren Buffett has said in his annual reports, there are times, he made a bad trade and he said, I should have just gone to the movies.
Right.
I
Yeah.
should have just
Forget about it.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll have our fantasy finance picks for this month. Stay tuned. You're watching The Trading Desk on COTV 11.
With growing inflation and the declining dollar, where do the pros and the smart money park their investments? They turn to hard tangible assets such as gold, silver, and rare coins to fight inflation. At Mount High Coins, we've helped people fight inflation for over 20 years. With gold and silver at an all-time high and rare coins seeing steady growth, now is the time to make a move buying or selling. Turn your old rings, silver flatware, coins, or collectibles into cash in your pocket. Stop by or give us a call at 1-866-THE-COIN. Mount High Coins, just south of the underpass on 3rd Street.